We've got a lady in our program at the moment. She's been with us for about 12 weeks and she's a type 1 diabetic. And she posted in our she does her own diet, and she posted in our Facebook page saying, I'd just been to the doctor and that she gets regular blood tests. And the doctor was like, wow. Like, she's like, all your blood tests are good. All your organs are good. She's like, yeah, all the tests that they do for the type 1 diabetics. And she's like, you're looking so good. And I'm like, she eats chocolate brownies. She drinks OJ. She, you know, like, that's just proof, you know. Yeah. She's like, everything's gotten better since she joined the program. Yeah.
And that's what people need to hear. It's that understanding of like, you're going to need to start it slow. You're going to need to moderate and watch it. And you're going to have support. Like utilizing all three of us as someone as to reach out to, talk to, because one of the things is that we've been all down our own process of how it works. But in general terms, we've all seen a positive result, whether it's, you know, us not, Allison and I not aging, which is awesome.
Looking like you're 30. And you guys were like you've probably fucked yourselves quite a bit, especially the Ironman. Like, that's like the most hardcore, you know, like. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And like, you guys have both been high level athletes, which is really so stressful on the body. And you didn't eat properly while you did it, probably. It just sounds like it's going to like.
Right.
Wow, it's
like it's landing in your room there.
Oh, I know. Imagine if you guys like trained, like were like athletes again, but you actually ate like this, how much better you would have performed.
Oh yeah, so much. I mean, they did like a little experiment with the Olympic gymnast, and this was like back when the Olympics. It was at 96 Maya when it was in Atlanta, and you know, the U.S. team won that year, and it was just simply because the nutritionist said to eat every 2 hours, and they weren't doing that before, and that increased their performance twofold. It was kind of amazing. Oh, and he made them eat carbohydrates too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like whenever I train, if I've, you know, not eaten enough, you just notice it instantly. You know what I mean? But even just day-to-day life, like you think like now I'm thinking, oh, I'm pretty hungry now. It's getting close to lunchtime. Like you start to, you know, you can really notice if you're not fueling your body, like you feel cranky or you sleep, you know, your sleep starts to get affected. Just your ability to think and cope with stress. It's like, you know, it's just, it's so hard. Like we get so many women coming. I mean, when they come into our paid program, they're pretty good because like they're paying us and they will usually listen. Mel and Craig are both out there looking at it now. They'll usually listen, but it's like, you know, it's not a, you know, I think people sort of, I don't know if you guys ever get this, but they see me talking about it, you know, and they get this thing like, oh, I had this lady comment on one of my posts today. Oh, so what, you just eat crap and don't do any exercise? And I'm like,
has she seen you?
But I'm like, where, like, it's like, what's your definition of crap? Like, because I'm like, I eat sugar, I eat dairy, I eat potatoes, like all the things the fitness industry tells you not to eat.
Right. You know? Which are nutrient-dense foods. I mean, those are, Yeah.
Do you guys get that too?
Disconnect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When I have a cook, it's an absolute like turning head. You know, it's like, oh, why are you having a Coke? Well, you know, the sugar in the Coke is actually the same as any sugar in your fruit, but just the way it's processing in my body. And if I need a little extra something, I'm going to have a Coke just to help my digestion. And the caffeine is actually part of that too. So, but the simplest thing is like what we're taking in is simple foods. Like they're just kind of worked on. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to have a Coke, but what I'm saying is that if you know what works for you, then, you know, I'm in a stressful situation. I reach for what I know that's going to get me out of my stress and get me back on track. And for you, like weightlifting and being as strong as you are, like that energy that you need to sustain has to be on an easy route. Like the brain has to know it's an easy way to get in and out, just as utilized as quickly as possible. And I mean, I think one of the hardest things for people to understand is that what's crap is things that don't digest in your system. And if you don't take your temperature and pulse, you don't know what's good for you. And, you know, if you're going to do a workout, your temperature and pulse better not drop because you just dropped everything that you worked so hard to have. that accountability means that more and more you can't hide from yourself. You're like, I screwed up. Just right.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's people are trained to believe that too. They're trained to believe that that stuff, that's crap, but it's food. Like, I can understand people saying that about candy or something with like artificial colors or chemicals in it. But you're talking about potatoes, you're talking about orange juice. Like, this is fruit, the root vegetables. These things do come from the earth. They're natural foods. So these get, and so you're going to tell me that like a kale is like much healthier for you than something like that you can't even access the nutrients from. That's going to cause more digestive distress. And that's a lot of things, I don't have as many of those talks with people much anymore because I just think people kind of fell off the kale train because it's really not good, And so, and they figured that out, but I think it's, the milk has been a big thing for me. Like, people comment all the time about milk and how I think I heard something on I still listen. I listen to Joe Rogan because I like to listen to like the trendy fitness stuff and like what people are talking about. And he said something about like, or he had a guest on there that said something about milk, how it's like poison, and the chocolate milk thing is like, it's BS because it doesn't have any validity to it being like, working or being any good. And I was just thinking to myself, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, this is milk. It's like the best. It has it's like a super, if you want to talk about superfoods, this is a real superfood because it has all 3 macronutrients in it. It's got so many, it's got high levels of calcium and then, it balances out the phosphorus and, I could go on and on for days, vitamin A, vitamin D. And so it's like, are you serious? Like, this is, it's just like incredible. The more you learn about these things, like the lactose helps you like take in the calcium. So everything in it helps everything
beneficial.
else. It's amazing. I always think those kinds of things are amazing. I get excited about that, but I don't think people understand how like real foods work because we've been taught to take supplements all the time too, to take these single supplements. And it's just like, you're going to be robbing your body of other nutrients when you're taking a single supplement. And that's just not the same as getting real food. It's so, yeah.
I also have to add, like, it's the knowledge that's missing. Like, really talk about the physiology. Like, you don't hear someone going, well, my ratio to calcium and phosphate is a little low today, so let me increase my
people don't know that.
Or my vitamin A is a little low because my my chronometer says I didn't get enough when I ate my meal. There's no conversation like that, but also they don't understand like oxidative mechanism. They don't know glycolysis. None of these guys utilize what the body was made to do and how efficient it be when we get out of its way. Like, if you're gonna look for the cost, the most for your buck, you're gonna go to oxidative mechanism because you're gonna get like 32, 36 ATPs. Just not even if you have to know the pure science. Like,
let's talk about that then. And keep it basic.
Yeah.
Like at cellular respiration.
Carbon dioxide too, because nobody ever talks about carbon dioxide when they talk about dieting, and taking out carbs. You're actually eliminating your carbon dioxide production, and that's a huge deal.
So you're
your carrier of O2 has to have the CO2. Like, you can't have one without that. Or you influence a whole bunch of people in this cardio, and you start to say, okay, you're circulating your air in your lungs and you're doing all this great aerobic exercise to stimulate something, but also you're blowing out tons of CO2. So every time you're shoving something out through your breath, you're actually sucking in more O2 that the body can't take in very well because it's already too stressed out. It's not producing enough to capture that O2. So it's just a big loss of cycle. It's like having your air conditioner on while you have your house on heated. It's like you can't do both.
So can you explain, and this is just for everyone who's listening, like at a basic, so sometimes I'll say to people like, oh, look, your metabolism at a very basic level is just the rate at which your billions and billions of cells make energy. So our cells are like the powerhouse, the mitochondria, they make energy. So can you explain to the viewers at a basic level, like, what is cellular respiration? Like, what is it? What happens? What do we use to make energy? Like, talk about the process.
Right. So we just talked about CO2 and O2 exchange, right? That's electron transport chain. That's basically things coming in, things coming out, and they're charged by each of their ions, right? So like sodium and potassium work together, sodium and chloride, right? They make a certain thing, right? So each of these mitochondria have their functionalities. They're basically what keeps your energy at the highest when it's working the best. So say you bring in one of those things and then you don't allow it to exchange to come back out. That cell becomes really stressed. It becomes in kind of in a loss of energy because it's leaking, or it's having an issue of some kind of it can't produce the energy out that it got from in. So to make it really simple, what you're looking for is your mitochondria to be working effortlessly, just like how we talk about flow state, right? When you're in your squat and you're doing you're got your bone rhythm going really well and everything is smooth, right? This is the same thing with the mitochondria. The mitochondria have to be able to take in input and take out output. And that part of you has to be able to take in with each thing you're doing. So if you're going into what they call lactic acid, you're creating a slowdown because it breaks up into chemicals, and then that chemical has to push over to somewhere else to give you more energy somewhere else where it should be in your cell, allowing you to do something else. Is that kind of stuff?
I think so. And so like, what's our cell's preferred fuel source? What do they make energy from the most efficiently? Yeah.
The easiest thing that can come in.
Yeah. So people are constantly trying to cut the carbs.
Yeah. You can make it from protein, but it takes way more energy. Yeah.
And it creates less carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like everyone's constantly saying cut sugar, cut carbs, but it's like driving your car across the other side of Australia, you're only filling it with half a tank of fuel.
Yeah, which makes no sense. And I've heard people talk about it, and I've never understood the reason behind that. And I think the reason why people do keto, or we'll say keto because that's really no carb, is I've heard the reasons are just they just don't want to eat very often. They want to continue on with their work. And I was like, well, I guess that's, I mean, you're creating fat oxidation. So if you have polyunsaturated fat, I know that's what I said. So, I mean, I enjoy eating. I really do too. And there's a lot of joy and just a sacredness behind that, you know, and even preparing meals and stuff. And I love, Kitty, your food prepping videos are amazing.
We're gonna do one after this. Actually, we're gonna make spicy Italian meatballs with the rice noodles as the pasta. Yeah. I'm excited.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I love those rice noodles. But yeah, I think, and then you run into the issue of like oxidizing fat, and if you have lots of polyunsaturated fat stored in your body, that creates all kinds of toxicity. So, you know, these things don't get talked about. And I think people see quick results. They lose the weight, and they, you know, I guess they can sustain it and feel like they have more energy. But what I've noticed with people who are doing, and again, no judgment for people, if it works for you, go ahead and do it. But I've noticed like what I call a slothiness to it. Like you get slothy, you know, if that makes sense, you know, like the animal.
Yeah.
And so I've just noticed it in the energy of people who start doing that. Some people, just the people I've had experience with. But I think that, you know, it changes your entire personality. It changes your energy when you're eating, or you're taking care of your body in a more a metabolic sense, as opposed to actually what you're doing with like keto is you're slowing your metabolism down to be more efficient.
Yeah, it's like.
I think a lot of times, if I really look at why people do something, it's because they're looking for the fast and easy, right?
Yeah.
And so starving yourself means I'm so busy and my stress hormones are hanging, you know, doing all the work for me. And I don't see that inflammation is increasing. I may feel it, but it's because of something else, right? It's not because my hair loss or my libido or my other things are achy because of my diet. It's because I don't have time, or I want to lose weight fast. And so you go into one of these ideas of eliminating, right? Everything's elimination when we try to do something quickly in a diet, right? So like low carb, high protein, if you do ketone, you're asking the body to switch into survival mode. Like you literally, the only time a body wants to go into ketosis is when your body can't get the vital information that it needs, like food-wise. Like when you're in a starving country, when you are on an island by yourself and you can't feed for yourself, you are going to need that part of you to do what it's made to do. Now we're so abundant, we get to play with it. We get to say, let's try doing this for a while. I'll lose a whole bunch of weight, but I don't know the long game. I don't know that aging will increase. I know that I will become a really bad glucose burner. I'll train my body to shut that off. And the body goes, okay, you want to do that? We'll save your life again.
Yeah.
We know you're an idiot, but we're going to go ahead and let you do it, because we want to keep you alive. And I joke about being an idiot, but my part of the saying is that most of the time what we're doing isn't an end game's result. We're looking short-term only.
Yeah.
It's how we achieve everything, how we got to have our gains, hard gainers, how we think that if we can do something that's going to make it happen today, right now.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You just got to play the long game.
You talked about it with when we interviewed you, how long it takes to become a really good lifter or really a great anything, like, in terms of, you want a perfect looking body with all the ratios of the muscles, you got to train all around and everything.
The food, cut out the booze. It's interesting, like both of our coaches are awesome, Mel and April. And Mel, she's had this like little glute injury. She hasn't been able to really squat or deadlift, but she's done other stuff and gotten stronger. But she looks awesome. She sits at like 20% body fat. But she is like perfection with her food. She doesn't ever drink alcohol. And I see how many women, they're like, oh, I really want to look and feel better, but I don't want to show up every day and be better. It's like you want these results, but you're not actually willing to put the work in to get there. And then you whinge about that you're not there quick enough. Like I noticed someone in our Facebook page was like saying, oh, I've been doing this for 16 weeks and I'm consistent most of the time. And I've fallen off the wagon with the alcohol. And I'm like, let's look at you versus a lady who's come into our program and she's been 100%. She completely cut the booze. She's stuck to her macros. She's done all her food plans every week. She's trained consistently for three days a week, 3 days a week strength training. Right. She's down 7 kilos. Like she looks amazing. Like, but it's great. Like you want these, like no one's saying that you have to be at this body fat or that you have to get there in this time, but it's like, don't whinge about it. If you're not putting 100% in, don't expect 100% results. Yeah. Like just own where you're at.
It's up to you in the end, really. It's always up to the person who, it's not, your coach isn't going to make you do it.
And don't lie to yourself. Like, it's funny. Yeah. Another lady just messaged me before and she's like, oh, I'm so excited. I've finally got my shit together, taking ownership of results. She's like, I'll cut the booze out. I've been training, I've been tracking all my food and weighing it. She's like, I can see the difference already. Like my legs are starting to lean up, and I was like, I wrote back, I said, I'm really proud of you. And I said, it's amazing how this consistency thing works, right? Like, we have this little joke because ages ago, Mel, like before she became awesome, obviously everyone goes on their journey and there was a point where she was like, hey, that's it. I'm going all in now. And then I saw her in the gym. This is like 2.5 years ago. I was like, she says Dal all the time. I was like, oh, Dal, you said you're looking so good. She's like, it's like this consistency thing you talk about works. So we've got this little joke now about the consistency. So, it's like, right. Yeah, this is funny.
Word, right?
Yeah, you can't get around it. And it's like, it's okay if you want to have a slower journey and you don't want to be as consistent. No one's but don't fucking whinge about that you're not there quick enough and that this slow and steady like annoys you. It's like, we'll do everything then. Do everything and get there quicker,
Right.
Well, and I like to really bring into the fact of like, if you can visualize like a pathway that you walked all the time, right? It's really worn down, right? That's like the neurology of the brain. Like the brain goes down a pathway, least resistance, right? It's going to go down its path that it goes in and out of quickly, and it keeps ingraining itself into that one system. Like because it's harder to start a new path, it will do it if it has to. But like if we take that consistency, like we're doing the neurology, you basically are grinding a nice run, constantly keeping you in check, keeping you in path, and it doesn't become work, it becomes natural. And so people don't want to get through,
it's like the hard bit.
It's the hard, because there's not enough rut to kind of say, okay, wait, let me keep just going over the rubble, let me keep trying to clear the path, you know. If I fall off, don't make it a waster of energy, make it a thing of going, hey, it's okay. Like, but the hard part is people have no vision of what it looks like at the end. You know,
we should do a separate podcast on this, I reckon. We should do another one next time about this exact topic, because it's something that...
Are you going to have the flybys?
Yeah. Because I think, but we should definitely do that, because it's like, I think a lot of women, they struggle in that first 3 months, but it's like if we could give them some tips around, you know, what to expect, how, you know, the difference between the ones that get there and the ones that don't. And I think you covered a few really good things there about, like, if you fail, you just fail forward. You know, you pick yourself up. It's part of the process. But anyway, we'll do that another time, because I have to actually go now. But that was, I'm so sorry, because we obviously, like, every time we get on, we have a good chat at the start. But where can, like, if our clients wanted to look you up, like, where would they find you guys? How do they find your podcast? Just Google podcast?
So they can find our podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, but it's Integrate Yourself. And it's also my website, pureenergypdx.com, and it's on Maya's website at mayagottlieb.com.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and you can find out about our coaching services on those websites too. Yeah.
We also have a Facebook community page. So
we have a Facebook Integrate Yourself community podcast.
I'll have to join. Can you send me?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
And Instagram, of course.
Of
PDX.
course.
Pure Energy PDX.
And Facebook.
And Maya Gottlieb.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks so much. That was really, really awesome. And I'll message you guys after this, and we can book in another time. And I think we can talk. Let's talk about the. You know, I guess it's just like how to just get your shit together and just, you know, make it so it's eventually just the norm, rather than, you know, the difference between the women that make it and the ones that don't make it.
That sounds awesome. And we'll have to have you on our show to talk about that too.
Yeah. So sounds good.
We'll keep the relationship going. I love this. Thanks, Kitty.
Yeah, me too. It's really nice. Just really nice to talk to.
I think they would change the name to the Flyby Sugar or something.
Yeah. I'll come up with a good name. Hopefully next to the Christian Plains won't be bloody driving.
I'm sure you'll think of something really good.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks. I posted your new gel too. It's coming. I think Mel's either posted it or she's posting it next week. She's got it, the new gel to you guys. The new gelatin. The gelatin.
Oh, gelatin.
Yeah. We posted something to you. Yeah.
All right, cool. And I'll let you know when your show comes out too.
So I can share it with you. Okay, cool. All right. See you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.